Hello, my name is Sydney Peacock and I will be going over Reflex. Reflex is a math fact fluency product by Explore Learning. So Reflex is an Explore Learning product designed to increase math fact fluency in addition, multiplication, subtraction, and division. It also teaches inverse operations. There is a new line as well that just opened up as fractions, which could be something in the future after we get the Reflex math fact fluency rolled out. There are multilingual options, so if a student's primary language is French, you can put it in French or Spanish or English. And there's easy student and educator access through the link go-el.com. So we're going to go over how Reflex works with math fact fluency. So math fact fluency, there's a few factors that it works with. So first is it works with a fact family approach, helping students to realize that all three numbers are connected. You can see in this picture we have 10, 7, and 3. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 minus 3 is 7, and 10 minus 7 is 3. So those are all numbers within a fact family. Being able to manipulate the different operations shows understanding of the commutative property and the relationship between the operators. When students understand the conceptual connections between facts, their progress is automatically accelerated, and it helps with harder math skills down the line. The circle represents how it is highly adaptive and individualized that students of all ability levels have early and ongoing success. When a student logs on, they get to see what percentage they're currently at. And then their goal is to fill up a circle in the corner to make it fully green. It's called your green light. So in addition to that, the system constantly rewards students for both their effort and progress towards automaticity. They plant an acorn at the beginning, and their tree grows as their facts grow. They also open up new games, which makes it very engaging, and they're able to design their own character. I've had a lot of students who are really interested in that to help, and that motivation will help them succeed in math. So lastly, I was talking about the games. Reflex's interactive fluency development games are different. Unlike the typical math fact games, they require students to engage in increasingly complex and fast-paced decision-making. Fast-paced decision-making is necessary as we build on the fundamentals and we increase the students' math levels to Algebra 2, Geometry, Pre-Calculus. They need to be able to get their math facts when they see them like that. So once students answer fact fluency while achieving game objectives, we can be confident that they're ready to learn new math concepts. It also will give them new games as they answer games, giving them an incentive to earn new games to play. Next, we are going to go over why we need it. So, a strong foundation in math facts allows the students to understand new concepts. If they have a weak foundation and we try to build on it, it's going to fall apart. They need to be able to understand the basics so they can move forward. I've piloted this program for 2 years. I did it in 2020 to 2021 and 2021 to 2022. So the research that I found once I compiled all my data, the NWA growth data and the Reflex fact mastery data, I found a strong correlation in their students' growth on NWA and their growth on Reflex, specifically in the number sense column. So NWA has 5 different categories, one of which is the number sense. So if they're doing well in all the other categories where they can use calculators and formulas and all of that, and they're doing bad in their number sense category, it is going to bring down their overall score. Whereas vice versa, if their number sense is great, which is what I was seeing towards the end of the year, it's not only going to bring up that score in the number sense category, but it'll bring up the rest of the scores as well. Again, the students are overall motivated. I've done this with 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. They found it engaging. They liked designing their character. They liked getting to see the talking crab. Even though this may seem like a lower level game, the students are still engaged and interested in it in the higher grade levels. Again, the student interface is very easy. Students go to go-el.com. Once there, they type their teacher's name in, click on their name, type their password, and they're greeted with a math fact fluency that they're currently at. And they may pick games and play them until they get that green light in the top corner. As they work on it and improve, it will take them a less amount of time to get that green light. The teacher reports are very similar. They're going to go to GoEL, type in their name and their password, and then they'll be able to access math fact fluency reports, starting fluency, and many other growth reports and certificates to print off for the students. I've put my tiny URL here, and that has a Google Sheet that has the NWA data and the correlation between the math fact growth along with what a group of 80 students grew and didn't grow. So 95% of my students showed math fact growth and 89% showed NWA growth. So we're seeing that correlation and the success that it's happening in the classroom. The next thing I just wanted to go over very quickly is there's a lot of research that tells us that kids really need to be able to know their math facts. Realistically, when you're an adult in the world and you're doing simple math problems, you can pull out a calculator or use your phone. But when you're in a classroom and you're expected to do higher level mathematics, you can't be looking at it confused and then being asked to do a harder, more confusing thing. So then you're getting the calculator, you're trying to use it, and then you're trying to apply it to the other concept, which requires you to do more math, and it's just really snowballs very quickly. So many students that are not proficient in more advanced mathematic concepts, it's because they lack the fluency needed to solve these problems. They need to be able to do them quickly so they can quickly apply it to the situation they're given. So without the ability to retrieve facts directly, students are likely to experience high cognitive load. So when a student doesn't know their math facts and they're being asked to do multiple tasks, it will make them more likely to shut down because they are seeing things that they don't understand, and then they're seeing more things they don't understand. So it's really putting a lot of pressure on them and how they are working. There are two really articles that I found very helpful and beneficial if you're interested. It's the Math Fact Fluency Instruction by Kelsey Nichols and the Importance of Automaticity Development in Mathematics by Austin Baker and Joshua Cuevas. Alrighty. Now let's go on to the expenditures. What's it going to cost us? So for a school site license, it will be $3,295 per school year per school per year. So if we got that for all of our elementary schools and middle schools, K through 8, it would be $36,245. But Reflex clearly says that they can do some volume pricing to reduce that with the amount of schools that we add. By purchasing it, we'll have classroom level and building level user management and reporting, 90-minute webinars for teachers and administrators. And the overall goal for this program is not to make it a continual usage. So we just went through textbook adoption and eliminated 2 to 3 programs for math that we weren't using. So we have the extra money in the education fund to purchase this, and we still would have less spent than we did the previous years because of the programs we removed. So ideally, again, we would phase this program out of secondary in 3 years. So right now we're really trying to compensate for the problem that COVID caused, and we have a lot of students that have a lot of gaps. So ideally we have it 6th, 7th, 8th, and then the next year we would only have it in 6th, because theoretically the 6th graders would have done it, so they're fine in 7th grade now. The 8th graders would have done it, so they are fine in 8th grade now. And we're just going to be bridging that gap in 6th grade. So ideally, we would get it to 6th grade, and once the elementary schools will have it all on board, we will most likely be able to phase it out of 6th grade as well. So we're talking about 3 years to solidly remove it from the secondary, which would lower the cost, because then we would only need to fund it for our 8 elementary education schools, our primary schools. All right, thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer them.